PCET, Infinity, PCET, Infinity, PCET, Infinity, PCET, Infinity.
नमस्कार श्रोते हो. पिंपरी चिंचवड एज्युकेशन ट्रस्टच्या इन्फिनिटी कम्युनिटी रेडिओच्या प्रसारणामध्ये आपणा सर्वांचं मनापासून स्वागत. तुम्ही ट्यून केलाय 90.4 FM हा कम्युनिटी रेडिओ. पुणे बिझनेस स्कूलच्या ॲग्री कनेक्ट या कार्यक्रमामध्ये आपणा सर्वांचं मनापासून स्वागत. आज ऐकूया वामसी कृष्णा सी यांना.
So hello everyone, welcome back to the Agribusiness Connect. Empowering the Roots, I am your host Ujwal and Rohit. And today we are diving into a topic that truly defines the future of Indian agriculture, agriculture implementation excellence. Today we have with us Mr. Vamsi Krishna sir, the CEO of AgriSensei, and is an agribusiness leader with deep experience across national sales, procurement and field operations. We are excited to learn from his insights on agricultural implementation excellence. Sir, welcome to the podcast. Agricultural implementation excellence focuses on how well agribusinesses strategies are executed on the ground. It ensures that the best practices, technologies and inputs are used correctly and consistently by farmers and field teams. So let's directly dive into the conversation.
So good morning, sir. How would you define agricultural implementation excellence in simple words?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me here. I am Vamsi Krishna, CEO AgriSensei, representing AgriSensei here. Now getting back to this, let me explain to you in a simple language. So this agriculture implementation excellence means what we plan strategy in the office versus what is getting translated in the field. So if in the field it is getting translated in the right way, in the right time and in the right outcome. इसका मतलब if you say सीधा काम, सही काम और सही समय पर, अगर इन तीनों का कॉम्बिनेशन हो सके, I have seen companies wherein there is a mismatch in the translation in the field versus what is planned in the office. So if you say if this gap doesn't come, it is getting translated 100%. That's nothing but agriculture implementation excellence. Because today some of the elements are broke at dealer, retailer level में, या farmer level पे, front line पे, या sales team पे. If you are able to bridge all these gaps, that's nothing but what I mean by agriculture implementation excellence.
So before we dive deeper, what are the basic pillars of or components of good implementation in agriculture?
Okay. From my experience, it will boil down to 3 pillars. It is basically advisory, accessibility and affordability. If farmer gets the right knowledge and can access the product or the service easily and finds it worth the price, the implementation becomes smooth and scalable. So many companies work on only one pillar. Leaders work on all the 3. At AgriSensei, we champion all these 3 pillars of advisory, accessibility and affordability.
Thank you, sir. Sir, talking about the ground reality, so our third question to sir, what are the most common gaps you see when it comes to implementing practices on the field?
Yeah, the biggest gap I see and my experience is assumption. Companies assume farmers understood the recommendation, assume retailers were communicated, and also the field teams have followed it correctly. So reality is different. In fact, many a times the right understanding of the product is not given to the farmer. So I have seen brilliant products fail, not because of the products not doing good or products were average, but because the instructions, sahi guidelines didn't reach the field.
Moving on to our next question, sir. If I may ask, how do factors like farmer awareness, training, and communication affect the implementation success?
Yeah. In fact, everything depends on it. In my past, on digging out one of the classic example, a root cause of a cauliflower seed product that didn't perform well, it was a performance issue. We found out that in the farmer's field, product बढ़िया था, पर गलत दिन लगाया. So here the sowing window was wrong and that was missed. So it all comes back and this became a major sensitive issue at that point of time with the cauliflower head not coming in the field. So if you see, such experiences taught me that training is not a formality, it is the need of the hour, and that is the difference between success or failure. When awareness is strong, farmers become confident. When communication is clear, they follow correctly, and when training is continuous, implementation becomes predictable, and that's what bring sales team, the farmers and the retailers, the entire ecosystem as success.
Sir, in research question, you said that the company or product is good, but company or field teams are more mistakes are done by the teams. So my question is related to which operational mistake do companies or field teams commonly makes?
Yeah. So good question. In fact, in my experience, there are 3 big mistakes that companies have been doing, or that's what I see in this landscape. 1, rushing for sales before creating the right demand generation. So there's a lot of pressure on the billing or the sales, but end of the day, the farmer demand generation isn't in place. That is 1. Second, the last mile availability is not checked. Sometimes the stock is not available in the dealer point, though there is a farmer demand in place. So that is the last mile availability. Third, there is no follow-up with the farmers after a major field activity done, especially pre-sales period, sales ke pehle when we need to do it. So in fact, one season I saw a firm spending lakhs of amount on the field activities done. A lot of demos were done, but there was no sales that picked up, primarily because of the third point, wherein there was no follow-up with the farmers, wherein there were leads. So because of this, operation fails silently, and the impact goes loud and clear.
So moving on to the next question, sir. How can field teams, retailers, and farmers collectively contribute to excellence in execution?
Yeah, if you ask me, it actually works like a triangle. Field team is on one side, you have the retailers other side, and you have the villages, farmers other side. So this is a perfect triangle. Field teams guide, retailers reinforce the brand, and then you have the farmers who execute or purchase the product. When all 3 stay aligned, execution becomes smooth. So I have seen villages where retailer behaves like the local agronomist. He becomes the influencer of the product. Field teams train him, the dealer, the local village retailer. He trains the farmers, and then the results explode. Excellence comes from coordinated teamwork. At AgriSensei, our field teams drive this triangle, village, farmer, dealer triangle. So that brings in selection and execution of right demand generation activities in field.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you have a lot more experience of execution of product. So my question is related to that. Do you have an example where strong execution significantly improved outcomes for farmers or the company?
Yes, yeah. I'll go back to my initial days of experience. So at that point of time, I was handling field sales cotton in southern geography with a bigger team. I once handled that region that was considered dead. When I said dead, it was flat sales, there was no great dealer confidence, and the farmers were fully with the competitor foot. So we fixed that with the tight execution. So here I will not say there's a big change in the strategy. It's all about the right execution. So we created the simple, as I said, the village farmer dealer model. So our team at that point of time mapped the key villages. There were micro farmer meetings done in the villages through the demo, and there was a digital connect. Especially there were reminder calls given to these targeted farmers, and then the retailers were brought to the digital order. So this alignment changed everything, and within a span of 2 seasons, that region I was handling at that point of became top 3 at a national level, and that created a wider impact. So it's all about having a right execution that brings in the louder results.
Sir, rather than it, any type of other example you have? Are there any?
Okay.
Can you share your experience about that?
Yeah, I'll do that. Yes, absolutely. We once launched a great new product in a veg multinational firm at a pan-India level, and this product was more suitable for the central geography. To be specific, it was a hot pepper product for Madhya Pradesh, the central geography of India. So it was a very competitive market, and it was an AI product launched tha apna. So at that point of time, we fixed the basics. We identified the key villages with the demos. We had the digital connect with the farmers, the key farmers tapped out, and then we created orders through the retailers. So again, it will come back to this triangle, but here it is more about, I'll say, the right execution to be done. And in fact, this new product which was launched became a major contributor to the portfolio of the firm, and there was around 30% of the contribution from this launch product in a span of 2 years for this firm. I'll say this is another classic example wherein execution led to the results.
The next question is about, sir, you were talking about the triangle, the field teams, retailers, and the farmers. So my question to you is, how do young professionals who are aiming to excel in on-ground agricultural implementation, what advice through your lens would be helpful for the young professionals like us?
Yeah. Again, a good, valid question that should create an impact, and it should be a learning point for all of you. So again, I'll go back through my lens 20 years back. And if I would give advice to my young Vamsi 20 years back, I'll say there are 3 advices I'll do. 1, spend time in field initial years because soil never lies. So that is a real MBA taught in the field, especially in the agri input perspective. Second, you'll have to have a blend of agronomic understanding and business together. So that the word used is techno-commercial. That's what agri input businesses expect from us. So it should be a right understanding of farmer along with the business perspective. Third, stay curious. So ask farmers why, ask retailers, dealers, kyun, what changed, kya hua, kyun nahi hua. So these are the best learning blocks for us. Once you start questioning, be curious. So I'll say these are the three points for the young minds. I give myself advice, and for you, I'll just repeat it. Spend time in field. 1, learn agronomy plus business together, techno-commercial. 2, 3, stay curious. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sir, my question is related to what are the most common bottlenecks in the current supply chain for the seed, fertilizer and pesticide industry?
Yeah. Across segments, if you see inputs which include seed, the fertilizer sector, the crop protection, crop nutrition, or the 4th sector, the irrigation, drip and the sprinkler irrigation, or the 5th sector, farm mechanization, farm tractor segment. All the 5 subsectors of agri input have the common, I'll say, bottlenecks, pain points. 1, there's a delayed forecasting sometimes in the system, wherein there's a SKU product shortages at the dealer point, which results to that. Second, there are multiple layers of decision making, which results in a slower decision making during the season, resulting in loss of sales. Third, there is a poor digital visibility, the farmer footprint or the sales team activity tracking and the footprint, campaign planning. So it doesn't bring out the right efficiency without the digital visibility. So that is the third. Fourth, if you ask me, there's a high dependency on manual processes, especially things like supply chain, things like marketing. Many can be digitized today. There are some firms still in the traditional process that can be digitized. So I'll say these are the 4 more or less the bottlenecks. And if you look at it, overall bottleneck, if you ask me at a broader level, it is the flow of the information. The success of any agri input firm depends on how quickly the information is reaching from the field to the top level. That's where the information flows and the decisions are taken at the top and translated back. So this is the success mantra for any agri input firm.
So moving on to our last question, sir. Do you have any example where strong execution significantly improved outcomes for farmers or the company or both?
Yeah, as I said in the past, in fact, there are 2 clear examples. One was with a new product launch done in the central geography, and the second was with the initial days where I was leading the field sales, cotton field sales team. So both examples, the patterns were similar, wherein you work on the triangle, which is nothing but the dealer, farmer, and you have the sales team. So how good you are able to manage this triangle results in the success through your digital connectivity, of course, which should be a complementary clearly. Of course, it is not a substitute, but it is a complement to this data set. So it's all the combination of how you manage well this triangle that results in the execution excellence and brings in the right results.
Very insightful answer, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have one more question to you. So in recent days, the company is facing the challenges about the supply chain. So what are the key strategies are used by the company to enhance the supply chain?
Okay, so today if you see, the major disruption in supply chain is primarily because, as I said previously, the right forecasting doesn't come on the ground in terms of kitna material chahiye, kitna sales kar paunga, kab chahiye. So that is the information flow lapse coming one. So that naturally the planning is delayed. Number 2, in terms of bringing efficiency, there are distillation modules available today in supply chain. For example, once the product is released from the warehouse, you are clear and there's messaging happening at the distributor dealer level in terms of when the material is reaching today. So there has to be a distillation in that end in terms of the material reaching. Third, at the front end, when there is a liquidation or POG, in seed it is called POG, product on ground, when farmers purchase. The same word in crop protection is liquidation. When farmer purchases a product, there is a track and trace solution where you can scan on the product and you get the database in. So these are the various steps where you have an execution across the supply chain smoothly. Similarly, the same thing at the back end, at the production end, from the procuring from the seed or the crop protection from the back end, there are again distillation that can be done. So these are the various processes that will bring in the efficiency and which reduces the loopholes on the distill and the supply chain.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. One more question from my side, sir. As you were talking about how the flow of information decides the success of an organization in the agri input sector. So what kind of, in today's world, what kind of digital tools that can be used to process this information, or to make the processes seamless, and to make this flow of information seamless for companies?
Yeah. Again, a valid, good question, relevant for today's market dynamic. If you see, there are good tools. I'll start from sales team. If you look at sales team, there are activity campaign tools wherein there is a plan pushed, and again you monitor in terms of efficiency how many farmer connects have happened, or is the right village activity done, or the number of farmers, is it right quality. So there are ways to look at this. That is one. Now getting into marketing level, there are also a digital spend tools wherein, for example, you are doing a product launch. You have a planned return on investment. By 1.5 2 years, this should be my threshold in terms of the revenue. So for that, where am I in terms of the various key budget spend, whether it is micro level or macro level activities? There are tools that are built in for that. Number two. Third, as I said previously, the supply chain tools, again, which play a critical part. For example, it can be the farmer level POG or the liquidation tracking tool, or it can be an information tool to the dealer, distributor, and the sales team in terms of the product, when it's going to reach, how much quantity is going to reach, so on. So these are the various at a high level. Now, if you go to the farmer level, yes, there are fantastic tools today in terms of precision agriculture picking up, but I'll say we are still in the tip of the iceberg, looking at our own Indian set of challenges of the farmer. There we have a long way to go, but good that at least the revolution has started. Other than the precision agriculture, we know today drones have picked up in terms of spraying. There's a mechanized spraying that is coming into picture. So all in all, I'll say, instead of covering in bricks and pieces, whether it is track and trace, or whether it's a farmer solution, or it's a dealer solution. So today, agribusiness as such is at an inflection point. So when I say inflection point, so there is a big transition in place. So the transformation impact will be wider. And hopefully in the next couple of years, we all will be seeing that. And we should play our positive part in bringing this efficiency for all the ecosystem and the players.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the answers.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such practical, insightful, and the experience-driven perspective with us today. Our thoughts, AgriSensei value chain, digital transformation, and execution excellence have truly broadened our understanding of the agribusiness landscape. I am sure our listeners, especially students stepping into the industry, will carry this learning forward with the clarity and purpose. Sir, we are grateful for your time and guidance today. To all our listeners, thank you for being with us. Until the next time, stay curious and stay inspired. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. It's been pleasure talking to the young student. It gives us enough energy for all of us. Thank you. Keep doing it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.